Got ourselves Deadlock over for the team 1. Ready to go is Retribution Paladin. Grifka. Oh, Yellow Banana Man. I like it. Oh, even the tabard. That looks good. We got us a Grifka. We got us a Jayhawk Wizard making a return as a fiery mage this time. And it's got the Mog to show it off to Koopa and the Outlaw. And we got Droog in the back, just kind of staring off into a wall. One zombie over for the team 1. Team 2 are the ready. Fast goes on that team. We got South going to be first up, getting sapped up by Grifka. Immediate trinket off the bat as Grifka is going to try to see if he can punish the team another and probably not give him an out whatsoever. Blur does come out. Stun last second. Does South have an answer here? Is it no help whatsoever? Gouge to follow on that Ibium. Grifka is going to end up bathing in all that fell. Ooh, as the Haunt comes out, Grifka does go in for the jugular, taking him out. So letter on that team as well as Masterfoot as well. Do they not have Crazy here anymore? Oh no, Crazy left? Oh no. Well, actually, I guess for the team 1, for Grifka, he no longer has to worry about the Shaman locking him down and not letting him play. So I guess there is that. Grifka got himself the Deadly Intent. Shadow Blades has been activated. He's going to Shadow Strike immediately. Kid shot right from Subtlety, trying to make sure he doesn't give him much of a break in between. Trying to also position to make sure if there's a knockback, he doesn't go flying off of the bridge, but he's getting the Shadow Steps ready in case he needs to. No knockback for Subtlety. So later does come for the step as he goes in for a leap right after. It's either going to be Subtlety yeeting the rogue off the bridge, or he's going to yeet himself off of the bridge just to make sure he doesn't have to worry about Grifka as well. Gonna be trying to go for a bit of a reset behind the pillars. Grifka looking for a bit of escape. That's gonna be Root Totem this time around. Somebody does get hit with a gouge. Grifka is gonna end up breaking his own gouge to follow cat stun right after. Into a knockback, does have a shadow step right after. Somebody trinkets with a burrow, trying to see if he can get a knock up into Grifka. Potentially does catch him out in the open with a freeze to follow. Lava Burst doing quite a bit of damage. Grifka hold on to a Cloak of Shadows until later. Earth Shock into a Lava Burst. Potentially could be a defensive. Rogue does go in for the Cloak of Shadows right now, trying to build up a little bit of damage onto Somebody. Does have any more mobility? He's gonna go for a bit of a vanish in order to give himself cooldowns back in again. Maybe could go for a Kinder Shot off of this. No knockback, I think Somebody does get it last second, but it's going to be the Rogue just absolutely puncture right through his defense's wall last minute. Somebody doesn't really have a lot of outs. He definitely needs to go for self-heal whenever at all possible. Rooter to Grifka, potentially could just go for a bunch of heals. Grifka could get really aggressive here. Does have advantage back up and available in case he ever needs to. Somebody trying to reposition to get himself a bit more of a high ground, and as long as Grifka has some kind of a dots and the elemental is attacking him, he should be able to keep the Rogue in bay. Earthshock to follow. Frostshock most likely right after. Does go in for the Lava Burst into a knockback. The Rogue goes in for advantages to make sure he can reconnect off of this one. I think trying to go for maybe a Shadow Strike off of Somebody. Does end up reconnecting with the totem. Does get him at least closer to the Shaman. Kinder Shot right after. Position. So if a knockback does come out from Somebody, oh, this move last second does still able to get himself a big secret technique. Somebody leaping away with Road to Grifka. No outs for the Rogue for 16 seconds. If Somebody goes in for damage right now, he may be okay. But more to get him set up. Shadow Strike for the Rogue into a lasso. Does have a trigger for this one. This is where Somebody needs to make a play right now. I think Grifka is probably going to go for a blind, isn't he? Kinder Shot, super delayed, maybe blind, knockback, Somebody does go in for a bit of healing. Grifka vanishes back up and available in case he ever needs to. Cloak of Shadows available as well, so you can just push in onto Somebody if he wanted to, but I think he's going to back up a little bit. Does he have a Flame Shock rolling on him still? If he's got the burn on him, maybe a knockback from Somebody if he gets him to a good angle. Shadow Step at the ready. Burn to follow to try to see if he can dodge the secret technique. I think he was able to dodge the secret too. The Primordial setup. Maybe big damage for Somebody. Setting something up. That's still super low in health. Grifka with the Cloak of Shadows. Somebody just needs to live. Trying to make sure he doesn't get interrupted. Gouge to follow by Grifka. Again, trying not to give up that interrupt if he can. He doesn't want to give Somebody the opportunity to go for the fast cast with the what is it called? The Recognition, I think it's called. I keep forgetting that name of it. Cheap shot into Somebody, not in a great spot. Knock back into the Rogue. Does have a wall for this one. Trying to go for a cast. That's going to be maybe big damage. Does he maybe go to go counter offensive with Grifka? Does go in for the heal steal. Grifka with a gouge. This is what Somebody just needs to finish him off with a bit of damage. Root to follow. Grifka does have himself one last vanish into yet another interrupt versus Somebody. But does he have an out whatsoever? Knockback to the Rogue, Shadow Stepping yet again. Cheap shot, I think it's over right now. No way out for this one. And Grifka does end up slicing him down with a Sylvester Raids back to back to back. Going to be a Mortal Call to follow. Soul Eater trying to see if he can go for a bit of a setup versus Grifka, sending out all these pets, attacking the Rogue. Does have advantage in case he needs to. Shadow Stepping, get a shot to follow. Has himself a big Secret Technique ready. That's going to be a Dark Pack barely holding up. Secret Technique burning right through it into a wall to follow. Gouge blind right after. Soul Eater does end up tricking out of this one. Grifka is super low in health. Does get himself one last advantage. Does he have any dots on him? I think it's actually going to be a-okay and plenty healthy. None of the eyes are available, so it's really up to Grifka if he wants to even open up or not. So you could just sit in stealth for like ever and ever and ever to recuperate all the health in the world. Oh wait, no, second... Did he never pick up those eyes? Is that what happened? I think he never picked up those eyes. Wait for Soul Eater. That's huge. Into a Cold Dread Stalkers. Trying to see if he can get all these pets up and running versus Grifka. Wall at the ready. Trying to go for a big tyrant. But I think Grifka may just have him here. Nothing he can do. Mortal said last second. But Grifka already had cooldowns coming back up at the very end. Fasca's going to be up next. Is going to go for a bit of a Destro Warlock setup with a Succubus at the top. Trying to see if he can control the Rogue. Shadow Fury, Bonza Fell. The Rogue is going to trick out of these. Cannot get out of Bonza Fell easily unless he goes for Shadow Mode. May just need to. Trying to see if he can stay in there. Bonza Fell break. Pet is on him. Needs someone out. Oh, does go down with Droog. Trying to see if he can catch the Warlock. Last second, as soon as the Rogue goes down, immediately get into combat. Immediately try to see if he can put pressure onto the Warlock. Not let him out of his sight. Ripping away the guy's soul. Could go picking it up. That's going to be his damage and healing reduced by 25%. Quite a bit of a damage reduction too. Gives Fascals a bit of a defensive play. Going to be a Lightning Lasso with a knockback. It goes flying. Cannot reposition back on top of the platform. But the Succubus does catch Droog last second. Bonza fell. If the man does break out of this one, he's going to end up taking damage. Quite a bit of damage too. Portal to follow adds quite a bit of extra chaos damage. The man is just absolutely melting. Burrowed down for just a moment. Yet the portal is up. Fascals trying to see if he can finish him off real quickly with a wall to follow. Trying to go for an intro, but doesn't actually get any kind of kicks whatsoever. That's going to be Fascals with a couple more instant casts, trying to see if he can send after Droog, but the Root Totem is going to catch him in place. Portafola trying to find himself a much better angle. Could go for the Succubus to catch Droog out in the open, but he can go for interrupt on that thing. He'll be A-okay. Gonna be a freshly Succubus joining in for Fascals. Droog trying to see if he can maybe interrupt it. Is unable to Mortal Call the ready for Fascals in case he needs to. Big Immolation, big Bonzafell set up on the Droog. Into Mortal Call, doesn't go anywhere. Actually, looks like he makes the last second. It takes quite a bit of damage. The last to follow. Does have a dark pack for this one. The Droog super low in health. Does Fascals take him out? He just needs a couple of globals. Droog though needs a big Element Blast. Maybe he can make someone happen. Root onto the main pet. Is gonna try to see if he can sneak around the pillar. Fascals actually could take Droog out, but it could be the Shaman also turning around. Big damage out of Fascals out of left field. Just jumping down, sending all the fiery destruction against the Shaman. But the man does not really have a way out right now. He got himself a little bit of mana, but no big defenses, no Guardian, no nothing. Succubus is probably going to be the end of you if he does catch you real quickly. Succubus to break the last, so Trinket immediately out of Droog, trying to see if he can establish a Bonzafell. Big Ascendance, this is where Fascals needs to get some CC, that or retreat. Trying to see if he can go counter damage. Big K's supposed to follow Droog, is just absolutely overpowering him with the power of the enhancement Shamancement though, my goodness. Literally don't fight the storm itself. Masterford gonna be joining in as a Feral Druid. Full bleeds on the Droog. Does go in for a full-on static totem to keep the kitty in place. Maim onto Droog. Does have a wall for this one. Does he have any more survivability whatsoever? I think he may be kind of limited what he could use. But a wall is available for him. Maybe able to live through the bleeds, through the thorns, through everything. Trying to see if he can fight through the Feral Druid. Can he potentially make a play right here? Burrow down. Does he get himself big pop off? Massive damage. Light able to fall while the kitty's in the air. Cat could still turn it around. And Masterford does end up going for a final bite at the very end. But a 56% dampener. The rest of this game is definitely not going to be in his favor. Stunt to follow. Has the trigger for this one. Final wreck available for Del, and just cannot outrage the Paladin whatsoever. This man is sitting from another zip code. Masterford trying to see if he can go for recovery. Does have a Heart of the Wild in case he needs to go for healing. Honestly, Heart of the Wild should have been used, I feel like, last game too at this point. Like, that's how early you need to use Heart of the Wild. You need to use it basically as soon as you're killing the Shaman. Use the Heart of the Wild. Recover as much health as you can, because you just otherwise, yeah, there's just nothing you can do. You gotta get rolling as soon as possible. Crazy. Grifka catching 3 though, making a bit of a comeback after the Shaman leaves the arena. Grifka's like, it's my time to shine, boys. Let's go.